Culture is so important because that is going to generate what you are. If you have a culture that supports quality and encourages quality, you're going to have quality products. If you got one that supports ingenuity, loyalty, that's what you're going to get. Cast your mind back to when you were in school, in high school, in your biology lab. Do you remember growing a thing called a culture, where you had a little glass dish called a petri dish? And in that thing there was something put in there, it's kind of a waxy substance called an agar or a medium or different things like that. Whatever that was made of was tremendously conducive to whatever you were trying to grow in your culture. And I remember the first experiment that we did, that culture was really conducive to the growth of whatever it was that was growing on our fingernails and underneath our fingernails. And we'd scrape them in there, and about 2 or 3 days later look underneath the microscope at this teeming mass of things down there that were growing underneath our nails. Well, I've always looked at that and I said, well, you know, isn't that what a factory is, or isn't that what a fab plant is, or isn't that what any collective group gathering of people? Shouldn't everything in there be designed so that it encourages the growth of whatever that particular company wants from its human resources? I remember when computers first were coming out. I remember the special rooms that had to be made, the special flooring, the special temperature control. And the point there being is nobody hesitated to think about all of the things that they needed to do to make that environment or that culture just right for the efficient functioning of that multi-million-dollar machine. And I would hope that the day comes when we take just as much time on making sure that the culture that we have, that our people are expected to operate in, is conducive to the kind of qualities in a human being that we want, seek, and desire, while at the same time choking out the qualities and the culture and the kind of people that we do not want to have in our organization. The people that are lazy or don't care or whatever like that, for whatever reason. Kind of like the good grass choking out the crabgrass. I've wondered why there isn't a function. We've got accounting, we've got engineering, we've got manufacturing, we've got human resources. I wonder why there isn't a culture management. Why there isn't a function called culture management. Make sure, is our company doing what we need to be doing to grow the kind of people we go, to attract the kind of people that we want to have? What kind of working environment do they like, so they'll come work for us rather than work for somebody else? See, all of this is all tied together. It's all part of wages and benefits. It's all part of what's in that job for me. How do I feel about myself when I come home from that job? Do I feel like I'm valuable and that I'm cared about and that I've made a contribution and that I'm better than the average Joe? This trading of life for money has got to be elaborated on and investigated and looked at more closely. Because I think subconsciously, while people don't sit down and think, I think subconsciously, maybe in the back of their mind, it's there. What am I trading? What am I getting for my trade of my life? And I think that that is a really important thing to concentrate on. Do you want to grow fear? Or do you want people that are proud people, that are valued for their minds as well as their bodies, that can go home at the end of the working day and say, when you ask what you did today, Daddy, you don't say I worked 8 hours. You say, well, I helped put a man on the moon, or I helped build a chip that's the thinnest in the whole world. That's what's driven me. That's what drives ISS. That's what we're in business for, is to help companies recognize that, grow that culture conducive to it, and then allow the employees to become totally engaged, not participate, totally engaged in the function of that business. And we do that through collective gain share.